because of greediness. The content of this meeting is being sent to a third party. How? I got a display. The content of this meeting is being sent to a third party. Should I say okay or not? Okay, I'll say okay. Am I audible now? Hello?
Yes, clear, sir.
Yes, sir. Audible,
Hello?
sir. Yes, sir. Audible, sir.
Audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now, after the scams, let us also dwell upon misinformation and disinformation campaigns. What is misinformation and disinformation? I'll tell you the meaning. The rest is in the text itself. Misinformation means anything information that you receive and you share it, you distribute it, you forward it is called misinformation. There may not be any ill intention on the part of the person who shares that kind of information. Then it is called misinformation because there is no ill intention. And you don't know, you are unaware, you are ignorant that whatever you receive, you are sending it to others. And to that extent, this is called misinformation. The information which is missent or mistaken is called misinformation. And on the other hand, another thing is called disinformation. Disinformation is there is some intention to cause some kind of inconvenience either to the people or the recipients of the information. Disinformation has some kind of mal intention that is called mens rea. Mens rea means an intention to do something. So that is disinformation. There is another thing called misperception of communication, misconception of communication, misperceiving, perceiving, misperceiving, conceiving, misconceiving. So this misinformation and disinformation belong to the sender, and misperception and misconception belong to the receiver. So either way, there is something mistake, which is not correct. So how to overcome this? Apart from this, there is another thing called information deficiency. Information deficiency is also a barricade, a barrier of free flow of communication. I'll tell you a simple example of how the information deficiency happens. Supposing the GHMC says to its sweepers, street sweepers, not to burn the dust gathered, not to burn the garbage. And there are instructions to the households given through a GO or through social media, through regular media, whatever it is. Don't burn the garbage collected or don't burn the whatever is collected from the, especially which emits smoke. That information we got, the people got, the residents of the colony or a particular area, we are aware. Even the Green Tribunal, National Green Tribunal, started imposing some kind of fine on the municipalities that are burning the things in the garbage dumping yards. So it is clear. So burning of garbage in open instead of incinerating is objected to because that causes air pollution, that causes environmental pollution. On the other hand, on one hand, GHMC has given the instructions to the residents of its own area, GHMC or whatever municipality, and the National Green Tribunal has given instructions to the municipalities, whether it is a small municipality or a greater municipality like GHMC or Greater Mumbai or Greater Bruhat Bangalore, whatever it is there. So information is clear to that extent. But still, the street sweepers, they are burning at every junction. This is called information deficiency. The information is deficient because they are illiterates. What should be done? Because we are all literates, if we were given instructions, we have seen it in the newspaper, we have seen it in social media, and we share that information with others. Green Tribunal has given instructions to the municipalities, and municipalities know that. In turn, municipalities pass on that kind of information to us. To that extent, okay, we are literates. At least we listen, we comprehend, we understand if people say. What about the street sweepers? They don't know, they don't read. So what has happened? they are still burning the garbage at the street ends after sweeping. This is called information deficiency. How to manage this information deficiency? Because this is preventing this information deficiency has become a lacuna and preventing free flow of information from the source to the destination. From source to the destination, in this case, from NGT and GHMC to the sweepers, street sweepers. So, how to overcome this? Here comes into play the information literacy and media literacy. Media literacy is for the people who write the content. Media literacy is for the people who are information leaders. Media literacy is for the people who are opinion leaders. Media literacy is for the people who can tell to others. And information literacy is for the people who are not literate enough. They should be told, they should be trained, they should be oriented, they should be refreshed, they should be replenished with the right kind of information from time to time. So this is how we should overcome this misinformation, disinformation, information deficiency, misperception, and misconception, whatnot. So this is all about misinformation and disinformation. And this is also connected to the ethics. And what is the need for corporate ethics and how it differs from PR ethics? Corporate ethics is nothing but corporate social responsibility. So their ethical conduct is reflected by way of doing something to the society. What they are doing, yesterday we have dealt with the corporate social responsibility at length. What are the activities they have to undertake? Why should they undertake? What were the circumstances through which the government has delegated the powers of doing certain things to the corporate world? These are all the things. And corporate ethics is just like individual ethics, how the corporates should conduct themselves. What is corporate ethics? On one hand, they undertake the corporate social responsibility activities, and at the same time, their ethical behavior is not to pollute the environment. Pollution is of 3 or 4 kinds. One is water pollution, the other one is air pollution, and the third one is environmental noise pollution, and totally it is environmental pollution. What shall be their ethical behavior in not polluting? They have to arrange for effluent treatment plants if it is a flowing water, and air pollution, emission of smoke, and carbon footprints neutral. Everything that causes some kind of pollution to the environment by that organization, that has to be taken care, that has to be prevented, that has to be plugged. And if at all it is there, it shall be made neutral. What is environmental carbon and plastic neutral means? It is not that plastic free or smoke emission free. For example, yesterday I saw Zomato is carbon and plastic neutral. Plastic neutral and carbon neutral does not mean they don't produce. Plastic neutral and carbon neutral does not mean they don't use plastic. They day in and day out, Zomato uses plastic carry bags, and their bag which carries food is also plastic. The jersey or the sweater or the T-shirt or the cap the delivery boys wear is of plastic. The two-wheeler that the delivery boy uses emits smoke. That is again carbon. But what does neutral means? Neutral means they try to neutralize the carbon emissions and plastic usage in the environment. It means if they plant trees, that becomes carbon neutral. If they recycle and use the plastic and they use the recycled plastic covers for their purpose delivery, then it is called neutral. So either you avoid using them or you compensate what is the damage you are causing to the nature. These are all the things, ethical behavior that is part of corporate ethics while discharging corporate social responsibility by doing some activities. Then corporate ethics versus PR ethics. Corporate ethics is a form of applied ethics or professional ethics that examines ethical principles and moral or ethical problems, as I told you, making everything neutral. It applies to all aspects of their business conduct and is relevant to the conduct of individuals and business organizations as a whole. Now, what is corporate ethics and what is PR ethics? We have already discussed about PR ethics, how a PR man should be. If something is going against the ethics, there will be a conflict of interest, and this PR manager will have to convince them that this is bad for the organization, not only for the organization, but also the environment and the society as well. Therefore, to that extent, he becomes right. If nothing is going to improve, he will have to quit that organization because he cannot be unethical. He cannot work there anymore. So, corporate ethics is discharging corporate social responsibility and at the same time taking care of the environment and the society, the community around. And PR ethics is guiding the organizations in order to behave or conduct themselves in an ethical or moral ways. Now, code of professional ethics in public relations. We have organizations nationally, regionally, and for every country there is a professional organization for public relations. And we have two apex organizations. One is Global Alliance of Public Relations Practice and Management, and another one is International Public Relations Association. These are the two international apex organizations at the universal level, and the country level organizations are their members. And there is a code of ethics for public relations profession defined by IPRA, International Public Relations Association. That code of ethics is followed by every organization, and the member of each and every organization, whoever is practicing public relations. At the entry, while taking membership, this promise will have to be made, saying that I am a professional. I will abide by the conditions put forth. I will conduct myself ethically. I will conduct morally, and I'll be doing this. I'll be doing that. A kind of promise will have to be made while seeking membership into a particular organization. Then coming to code of guidelines like tactics, strategies, zero in on putting value and principles into play for working professionals facing everyday tasks and challenges. And some of them are listed here. Be honest and accurate. Reveal sponsors for represented causes and interests. Supposing you are working for an organization and the organization has claims, so whatever is to be given out, that kind of information is to be given. There should not be any secret, because the organization and the client or the service agent, whichever it is, they are entering into a kind of a memorandum of understanding. If that is the case, there should not be anything other than what has been written into that agreement. Act in the best interest of the clients. Disclose the financial interests. By doing so, this is our interest. We get this money. You get that money. We get name. You get name. These are all the things to be disclosed. Safeguard the confidence and privacy rights. Follow ethical hiring practices. Avoid conflicts between the personal and the professional interests. There is always a personal interest and a professional interest. There should not be any conflict. If you have anything over and above the what is given to you, what is destined to you, there arises the conflict of interest. When there is a conflict of interest, either you choose, either it shall be professional or personal. If it is for personal, you cannot do justice for profession. If it is professional, you will anyway, you cannot do justice to your personal interests. Now, declining representation of claims requiring actions contrary to the code of conduct, accurately defining what public relations activities can accomplish, report all ethical violations to the appropriate authority. There is a thing called ethical policing. Who are the ethical police? Everybody is a police. Every human being is an ethical police. So to say, Similar way, every professional is an ethical police. If something is happening in the organization which is against the principles of the organization, this man becomes a policeman. That particular man is called ethical police. In society, there are ethical police. There is ethical policing. Yeah, everywhere, in every human activity, there are ethical. There is ethical policing. They are also called the whistleblowers. Whistleblowers. They will bring something which is wrong happening in the society to the notice of the concerned officials or authority. They are called whistleblowers. And these days, they are also called as RTI activists, right to information activists. Originally, they are ethical police. Now, let us also see uh, Public Relations Society of India. Which are the organizations? There is an organization, professional organization at national level called Public Relations Society of India. It was started in 1948. There used to be only two. So there will be a short question on PRSI every year. Every year there will be a short question on Public Relations Society of India, and it's about its functioning and the history, whatever it is. Public Relations Society of India was started in 1948 till 1958, and it functioned at two places as PR Circle Kolkata, PR Circle Bombay. They have been merged into one organization with its headquarters in Bombay in 1961, where it was registered. Kali H. Modi was the founder president. He was the president for about 6 years, and in 1969 his successor has created four chapters, because earlier two circles, Kolkata and Mumbai, they were merged into, and they were again after registration, four chapters were created, one in Kolkata, Chennai, Bombay, and Delhi. Thereafter, in 1971, Hyderabad chapter, other chapters came up. Now today it is some 33 chapters, having some 5,000 professional members as members into Public Relations Society of India. Its a hierarchy is national president. For four regions, there will be four national vice president. There will be one secretary general and one secretary treasurer. I happen to be the chairman of Hyderabad chapter 25 years ago. I was the national vice president from 2012 to 17. I was also Secretary General, National Secretary General from 2021 to 2023. And now I am legal advisor to Public Relations Society of India. So Dr. Narasimha Reddy is the man to be reckoned with, because during his regime, he has strengthened the organization like anything. He was national president of Public Relations Society of India during 1985 and 87. And in 1986, he organized one national All India PR conference where he adopted the Code of Ethics for Public Relations Society of India. The earlier code, which was available with IPRA or internationally, that has been adopted by Public Relations Society of India. And another thing he has done was he named 21st April as Public Relations Day. Public Relations Day. So that was on 21st April in 1968, the first All India PR conference was held. So therefore, he has taken that date to be celebrated every year on 21st April as National Public Relations Day. So in 2008, when I was Vice President of Global Forum for Public Relations, I have taken the birthday of Dr. C.V. Narasimha Reddy, that is 6th August. I have named his birthday as Public Relations Education Day, and this year it has become National Public Relations Education Day. It is the dates and names cannot be given just like that. There is something behind it. There is a lot behind everything, because Narasimha Reddy named 21st April as National Public Relations Day was because the first All India PR conference took place on 21st April 1968. I named the birthday of Dr. C.V. Narasimha Reddy as National Public Relations Education Day because Dr. C.V. Narasimha Reddy contributed 33 books 33 books on public relations, including textbooks. And he was instrumental in launching the PR courses in various universities of the two Telugu states. He was a convener of a syllabus committee where I was also a member that was appointed by State Council of Higher Education. I also wrote books. I'm still writing lessons for Osmania University. So if there is something to be remembered, something to be established, something to be initiated, there must be something. It will not come just like that. So to say, we have three important days for public relations profession in a year that you must remember. One is the 21st April, National Public Relations Day, and 17th July, World Public Relations Day in the honor of Ivy Lee. Ivy Lee was the first PR practitioners of America. And 6th August as National Public Relations Education Day. And of course, December 3rd week every year, there will be an All India PR conference. This is all about the Public Relations Society of India. Let's quickly go to the next lesson, that is digital public relations. In digital public relations, we are going to deal with what is conventional public. What is digital architecture, and what are the digital tools? What are the digital tools for public relations practice that people are using? And what is meant by digital assets? Digital assets. You have assets. Property is called assets, whether movable or immovable, they are called assets. Here we have digital assets. What are they? Digital influence. What is the influence of digitization in the practice of public relations? And awareness, brand loyalty, advocacy, conversations in the digital PR, how they happen, and who are the non-journalistic audiences with whom we will have to maintain relations, and who are the customers, and industry and financial analysts, prospective employees. All these things we will discuss briefly. Now, what is conventional public relations as against digital public relations? You know, public relations is the art of promoting the goodwill between an individual or an organization with the employees, customers, general public, community, and so on and so on. Now, what is digital public relations? Digital public relation, it combines relations, traditional public relations, with magic of social media, content marketing, and research. The result of an innovative and faster communication between the sender and the receiver is nothing but digital public relations. Because the communication earlier used to be through conventional methods, through conventional media, through mainstream media, through old media like print and electronic media. Electronic media is divided into radio and television, that is audio and audio visual. But through digital PR means the communication or whatever has been practiced conventionally is practiced through digital network. That is the difference between conventional public relations practice and the digital practice. Very simple. If you write to newspaper, that is public relations. If you write press release to the newspaper, so simply, that is conventional form of practicing public relations. If you write that press release and send it and put it on your newsroom of your website, web portal, and you ask the journalist to collect the news item, that is press release, from that, it is called a digital PR. So simple. What is digital PR architecture? There is an architecture which constructed the digital PR environment. It means there is a reach, and there is a research, and there is a planning, and the implementation of part of it, and then monitoring. All these constitute the digital architecture. It means, just for example, you imagine that you wanted to maintain hereinafter, leaving aside the traditional way of practicing public relations, you will have to maintain no paperless work, only through digitization. You construct a website, you see that it has a reach, and you have a plan, and you made a research already into that, and you are implementing that, and you are also monitoring whether it is going to the journalist, whether the intention of yours or your organization is being realized or not. These are all the things that goes into the digital architecture and digital tools for public relations. Tools means the equipment kind of thing. Every professional will have a toolkit. With the toolkit only, a professional or a person, a worker will have to perform his. Supposing a carpenter will have a toolkit, an engineer will have a toolkit, a blacksmith will have a toolkit. Everybody will have a toolkit. A journalist will have a toolkit. Similarly, a public relations practitioner will also have a toolkit. They have techniques and strategies also. Techniques, tools, strategies, these are all the things for working. So messaging is one toolkit, audience analysis is a toolkit, and then a part of the tool, part of the toolkit, and social media is part of the tool. Now come to the digital assets. What are the assets? You have real property and intellectual property. They are called assets. You have money, you have deposits, you have shares. That is also called assets. Here, as far as public relations practice is concerned, there are certain assets. They are called digital assets. And these digital assets are for communicating, for the purpose of dissemination of information. You have a kind of having a website or a portal that is a public domain where public can see. It will not work in privacy. It is a public domain where public information can be put, and it is open for public viewing. It is open for public access. It can reach the public as far as possible. So blogging or having a web is called one digital asset, because that is your property as a PR practitioner. Search and social media monitoring, and the digital assets, to be very precise, these are the digital assets. What are the digital assets? If I have a plot, if I have a flat, if I have a car, they are my assets. But as far as public relations is concerned, the digital assets are images, copyrighted images. You have a copyright, that is your own. You have something, you have a right over it, that is your asset. So images is an asset. Image means, again, image can be anything. It can be a pic, it can be a draft, it can be a graph, it can be a drawing, it can be a photo, it can be a caricature, it can be a comic, it can be anything, either static or moving. These are all fall under the category of images. Image does not mean only photograph. Photo, image, photo, map, abstract, graphics, everything that is other than the text is called image. Anything other than the text is called image, and the image constitute several other things, as I told you now. Then audio clip is your digital asset, because that is not written on the paper, because it is encoded as an audio medium. That audio clip is a digital asset. And then video with audio is called audio visual clip. Only without audio, if there is something video, it is called video, and that is also one of the digital assets. And logo, because that has been registered, copyrighted as a brand, trademark, because logo is also, and the logo, along with logo, the colors used, the text used, the punchline, the tagline, the slogan, everything fall under the logos. And then illustrations. Any illustration you have made is called a digital asset. And presentations you made, PowerPoint presentations you make, and that is yours, because dateline and timeline will come when you create some PowerPoint presentation, because on behalf of whom you have prepared, whether it belongs to the organization, whether you prepared for on behalf of the organization, that presentation, PowerPoint presentation or whatever presentation it is going to be as asset, and that will be because in the digital format, that constitute one of the digital assets. And then documents, Google Documents, spreadsheets, and so on. Everything that is available, that is incorporated, that is made, that has given the shape of a digitization, is called a digital asset. And what is the influence of digitization, or this is called digital influence, is one of the hottest trends in public relations. It is the ability to create an effect, change opinions and behaviors, and drive measurable outcomes online. Digital influence is largely a phenomenon of social networking. What are the reasons that can be attributed to digital influence means? One is reach. I told you there is a difference between reach and access. The reach means how far the media or the medium of communication reach the people, population, as well as geographical boundaries. That is called reach. On the other hand, access means whether this particular medium of communication is accessible to you or not. How far accessible it is to you, how costly it is, whether it is cheaper or costlier. Suppose a newspaper may be cheaper, whereas the television program may be costlier. This is how we calculate the access. Access means the people's accessibility towards the medium of communication depending upon its price, costliness, timeliness, and everything. And on the other hand, reach means the media's reach of the public and the places. Relevance. The second attribute to the digital influence is relevance. Relevance means it determines the context or the situation. And then what is the context? What is the relevance? It determines the context or the situation. If you talk something out of context, you will lose your value. People will look down upon you. They will not treat you as a worthy man. So therefore, if it is in the case of practicing public relations via digital mode or digitized mode, the relevance must be important. If you are out of context and the situation doesn't demand for this particular kind of information, it will go waste on one hand. On the other hand, you will be rated down. And then resonance. This resonance, triple R attributes, this resonance determines how long the information will be active and be discussed by people and with what intensity. In other words, it is called recall. A resonance means recall. If an advertisement is released into the market through any medium, radio, television, or what, there is a survey called recall survey. And you and the organizations which has created and released that particular advertisement into the world, they will go on a survey asking the people whether you recall this particular item, whether you recall this particular word, whether you recall this particular advertisement, or the properties involved. Property means props. Props means property. Property involved in the advertisement. The model involved in the advertisement. Say, for example, Vimal LH advertisement is a pseudo advertisement. It is actually a tobacco product, but the pseudo is LIC, Vimal LIC. There will be a recall survey in which a questionnaire will be there coming to you asking for how many actors were there. Can you recollect? Yes, I recollect 3 actors. Do you recollect their names? Yes, 1, 2, 3. It means by doing this survey, they will come to an understanding that how deeply the advertisement has penetrated into the market. Penetration of market is another topic. It happens only because of the repeated telecast or broadcast or exposure to in the public. So, in other words, this is called consistency. Consistency in communication. Consistency is one of the 7 C's of communication. If you tell now, you should tell after 2 hours in the if it is a TV program, tell another after 2 hours. And if it is one single program, one particular advertisement will get repeated at least 5 or 6 times. That is called consistency. I'll tell you one example of consistency. A water course repeatedly passing over a stone cuts the stone itself. That is the power of consistency. Now, after coming to the influence, after talking to the influence, awareness, let us talk, and also the brand loyalty. The awareness, besides the tools we have already discussed, we can also, in the practice of public relations, a medium called exclusively digital medium of communication. They are called podcasts, media relations, and then online press rooms and newsrooms, webinars, media tours, media email, content development and marketing, and search engine optimization, SEO. I think you are all youngsters, you know about what is SEO. This is called search engine optimization. This search engine optimization happens again because of the consistency. Supposing in the internet or in the Google website, you will key in certain words, certain keywords, say something, some keywords and ask for searching. If you type some keyword and click the search button, the bot mails will search everything that is on the internet, and it will arrange in such a manner that the more frequently appeared things on the top and the less frequently appeared things on the last in the list. Suppose if you search for one particular thing, there will be 100 results, and in the top there will be 5 or 6. It means what? If you search for Maruti, the first thing will come is Maruti car. And the last thing is the name of Lord Hanuman is also Maruti. The last thing will be Lord Hanuman. The first thing will be Maruti car. Why this? This is called search engine optimization, because that optimization happens, it searches which are more frequently talked about, which are more frequently discussed about things on the top of the list. That is called SEO. And as a public relations manager, when you join an organization, or as a journalist, if you join a newspaper, it is your duty, also one of the duties, to see that your organization gets onto the top of the list while in the search engine optimization. Whatever you take up, whether it is a product or a service or your own organization itself. Supposing you search for Modi, search for Adani, search for things, number of things will come. Search yourself. You type your word and search yourself. You will not find sometimes. Why? Because they appear in the news, in the digital media and the traditional media day in and day out. Because number of frequency, that is the question of frequency, because they appear number of times, their name is on the top of the search list. Because you never appeared in the web scenario, web world, you have never gone. Supposing you have attended some 5 or 10 or 6 programs, and your name appeared in the either in the press release or in the name or on the website, or you have done something, or somebody reported digitally about you, then it is likely that you are also found in the search result. Otherwise, there is no. So this is all about search engine optimization. Brand loyalty. There are 2 kinds of loyalty. I am brand loyal to several products. Repeatedly, I buy the same product. Repeatedly, whether it is a soap, whether it is a shoe, whether it is a belt, or whether it is a wallet, whether it is a bulb, whether it is whatever is the product, electronic gadget, because I have become a brand loyal to that particular product or particular service. Generally, what we are doing is we go to a shop, and very frequently we go to a shop, same shop. It is because some kind of loyalty is there. It is not that that belongs to your relative. It may be for several reasons. It may be nearer to your home. It may be on the way, because it may be the manager is talkative. He talks nice to you. Maybe the range of products available there are wide. Several reasons. That apart, brand loyalty means you will become loyal to one particular brand. For example, my mother, until her death, as far as I know, she used to use only Lifebuoy. Lifebuoy soap. So I don't know why. Similarly, you may be loyal to one particular brand. I am loyal to one particular brand. I always buy Bata shoe, Bata chappal. I don't go for other things because I have become loyal. Here, here there are 2 kinds of loyalty. One is true brand loyalty. I don't shift my loyalty to another brand. And there is another kind of loyalty, that is spurious loyalty. Spurious loyalty is deceptive. If something is good over and above what I was using, I have been experiencing, if I shift my option from this brand to the other brand, then it becomes a spurious loyalty. Why loyalty is discussed here? Because we are talking about ethics. If the corporate organizations, if the organizations are loyal towards the people, it means they reveal everything. People will also be loyal to you, your brand, your services. So this is about the brand loyalty. There are two loyalties. Another loyalty, if I may say so, I am loyal to Indian brands of cars. So far, I have used only Indian cars. I have not purchased any foreign car. It is my brand loyalty. Supposing Indian cars are proved not worthy, a foreign car is better than this Indian car, then I may shift my loyalty. Then it becomes spurious loyalty. So far, the true brand loyalty gets converted into spurious loyalty. It happens with the products and service and ideas of the organizations. Therefore, a public relations man will have to be aware of what is loyalty, what is consistency, what is recall, and all these things. Now, advocacy. Advocacy. What is advocacy? One of the four characteristics of a public relations man is analyst, advocate, and what are the four things? Advocate, analyst, advisor, and antenna. So this advocacy means he will advocate on behalf of the cause of that particular thing. So public relations man, because he is a man in the middle, he is a hub, his spokes are very wide, 360 degrees, and some of the advocacies are budget advocacy, media advocacy, ideological advocacy. Different types of advocacies exist that represent ways a new change is introduced into a community. They are budget advocacy, media advocacy, ideological advocacy, health advocacy, bureaucratic advocacy, mass advocacy, legislative advocacy, social advocacy. And then conversations in digital PR. What are the conversations? There is nothing but conversations play. Conversation is discussing, deliberating upon. Play a very important role compared to any other public relations activity that leads to publicity. This is because one of the goals of effective conversations is to acquire publicity and clean image. Public relations conversations are also about managing the individual or organization's reputation as a whole. Therefore, I told you in the beginning itself, an employee is a brand ambassador of that particular organization. If he talks good about the organization, the credibility, the image, the reputation of the organization may get enhanced. If he talks ill about the organization, it is surely that organization is going to perish. I'll tell you examples of at least 2 or 3 organizations that were earlier very big organizations, at least to the known people in Hyderabad surroundings. One is Alvin Industries. Alvin Industries was a big company, one of the oldest companies in the country that manufactured several things. And there was some kind of mismanagement, and the employees were not treated properly. They were not paid according to their work. There was the first thing that suffered was productivity has suffered. And when they were not treated properly, they were not paid sufficiently. They started talking against the organization. So when every employee of the organization started talking ill about the organization, that organization perished. That was closed down. Another thing was IDPL. Another thing was ECIL, at least to say. These are the 3 organizations where the managements could not keep their employees in good stead, could not treat their employees properly, could not pay their employees sufficiently, appropriately, for the reason that the employees being the assets beyond balance sheet figures, they talked ill about the organization. They have worked as ambassadors against. Ambassadors, actually, what they have to do, they have to create a balance when negotiating with 2 parties. The 2 parties here, on one side, the organization, and on the other side, market. So these ambassadors failed. Because why? Because they failed because they were not treated properly. They were not given the respect. So employees are the assets beyond balance sheet figures, and also the employees are the ambassadors of the organization. Employees are at the same time are the mouthpiece of the organization. If the mouthpiece talks, who else will stop them? So these are all the things we have to consider while practicing public relations. Now, non-journalistic audience is one thing that we have to discuss here. As far as public relations practice is concerned, the first and foremost job is media relations. First and foremost job is media relations. That is the primary job of a public relations practitioner or a corporate communications manager. He maintains relationships with the media. He becomes friendly with the media. He establishes, maintains cordial relations with the media. Thereby, the organization gets publicized day in and day out or periodically. So that is the primary job. For any position in the public relations or corporate communications wing or department, generally the organizations will look for journalists or journalism qualified people as their PR managers or corp comm managers. So therefore, there is a danger that public relations is assumed as media relations, but which is not correct. Public relations, maybe the main work of public relations may be media relations, but that is not the end. There are several relations to be practiced by this public relations manager or public relations practitioner. Now, that is media relations means they are journalistic audience. They are the audience. They are the people whom we are talking to. So that is over. Now, non-journalistic audience. Who are the non-journalistic audience? What are the tasks of non-journalistic audiences? Public relations activities conducted by organizations also include, apart from media relations, organizing media conference, managing media relations, lobbying with the government and other third parties, soliciting opinions. What is soliciting opinions? Seeking the opinion of the people, taking the feedback, soliciting not just like any other opinion, by influencing them, by motivating them, by persuading them, by giving them the right kind of information, the factual information, the truthful information, by following the principles of ethics and morals. We seek the favorable public opinion in favor of the organization. That is called soliciting the opinions. And analyzing public issues, facilitating communication through websites, press releases, etc., organizing special events and presentations. Now, what are the special events? Special events can be road shows, special events can be rallies, special events can be exhibitions, special events can be open houses. What is open house? Open house means once in a while, or say one day or 2 days per year, they will keep the entire organization open for public so that people will come and see what is happening here. They will clear their doubts. Not only the public will come and see, clear their doubts, also the families of the workers, they can come see the working conditions in which their kith and kin, husband or wife, brother or sister working. So they get satisfied with the working conditions. First, the employees and their families to get satisfied while working at a floor shop or a workshop, and then the general community around, and then the general public, and through media to the entire world. So therefore, special events like open houses, exhibitions are organized. And then sponsoring sports events is also for the non-journalistic audiences. Fostering community relations. By what is how you fostering means binding. How do you maintain community relations? Again, through CSR activities. Community, for example, BHEL has adopted certain villages in the vicinity of BHEL. So what is corporate social responsibility means, in other words, giving back to the society. By establishing a company or a factory or an entity in one particular area, the otherwise originally available settings will be disturbed in that particular area. Natural environment, the agricultural lands may get converted into industrial lands. The other agricultural lands will be get converted into the roads, approach roads, or the roads that comes out of the factory towards the main road. So there will be a lot of disturbance in the original settings of the nature, original settings of the environment, original settings of the village. Therefore, what is to be done is any industry, while they establish themselves, they will adopt certain villages in and around, and they start giving them the basic necessities. What they have lost will be replenished. What they could not get otherwise, they will be given. Supposing there were no bus route, a bus will be provided. Supposing there was no school earlier, the school was at a distance of 10 kilometers. Now, because of this major industry or a corporate giant established there, they will set up a school for the children around, so that the walking or commuting 10 kilometers earlier will get short to 1 kilometer. Is it not a good thing on the part of a corporate giant or industrial establishment? So, sponsoring sports events and fostering community relations, though the part of corporate social responsibility, it will also help in several ways. First thing, I'll cite you an example of Al Kabir. Al Kabir is near. Al Kabir was established during 1988, 89 or so. I was then working with the major industries minister as a public relations officer. The Al Kabir was a mechanized slaughterhouse. So every day there used to be some kind of cutting of animals. And the owner is a Jain. You know who is a Jain? What are the practices of Jainism? A Jain will always cover his mouth so that even the microbials will not go and get killed inside. They will look before every step so that no ant or no small creature will not get crushed under the feet. So that was the kind of religion. But this one Jain man has established this mechanized slaughterhouse. The ideological, you see the difference. A Jain man establishing a mechanized slaughterhouse, and the name was Al Kabir. And if that name is not there, you cannot export the beef to the Middle East countries. Their requirement is every day 2 cargo loads of beef, processed beef. Now, the local people have not allowed that factory to run for 3 years. Name Al Kabir. The people don't know the owner at that point of time as Jain. And then the factory was buying every day hundreds of animals and cutting them and processing the meat, sending by road up to Mumbai, and from there to flights. For 3 years, it was not allowed to function there. Al Kabir, near Rudraram, on the way to Sangareddy on the Mumbai National Highway. So the question was why it was not allowed to function. It was not allowed to function in spite of the licenses taken, in spite of the foreign exchange assured, in spite of local permissions taken, in spite of earning of foreign exchange, paying of heavy taxes, income tax. Everything was okay. Everything as per the rules. Government of India permitted, state government permitted, local Gram Panchayat has permitted. Forest clearance was there, industrial pollution clearance was there, everything was there, but it was not allowed to work. The reason is he has employed everybody from outside. He has brought people from outside, including not only technical, non-technical, menial workers, daily wage workers also he has brought from outside. Thereby, the local people got anguished, got angry over the management, and they stopped the processing of meat in spite of all his promises. So the moment he removed hundreds of people that he has brought from Maharashtra and Karnataka and started employing the local people, the factory was allowed to run. Now it is running. Very simple. Why a community relations must be practiced? It is only because of this. On the other hand, there is another pollutant industry called Siris. Now it is not there. Siris near LB Nagar. Siris was a chemical factory, base chemicals it used to produce, And every day in the evening, it used to release, because in the night shift, daytime, nobody knows. In the evenings and the night, second and third shift, it used to release pungent smoke and pungent smell. But it was never stopped, for the reason that that series industry has, on an annual base, on a periodical base, it used to fund the local MLAs. It used to conduct health camps. It used to conduct eye checkup camps and distribute spectacles free of cost to the people. And it has arranged pipelined drinking water. It has procured uniforms for the schools, and everything that is needed for the community around that factory has arranged from the beginning. And though it started polluting heavily, it was never stopped. On the other hand, Al Kabir, which cut only the colored animals. The colored animals means if it is a male animal, it cannot work. If it is a female cow, it cannot give milk. Otherwise, it was a burden for a farmer, for a owner of the animal. So that animal owner used to come there and sell it for more than what the market price is. On one hand, the owner of the animal gets the more than the price, double the price, and no pollution there. Everything is processed clean, and every byproduct is used as a manure or some other product get converted. Government of India gets, state government gets, but he has not practiced community relations. Thereby, it was not allowed to work for 3 years. How much interest loss? How much investment loss? How much reputation has gone? On the other hand, this series, a major pollutant, which polluted the environment day in and day out, was allowed to work because of the community relations. So this is the importance of community relations. This is where corporate social responsibility comes into play. And using of media, these are all the non-journalistic audiences, which public relations practitioners will have to keep it in mind while practicing as a public relations. Now, another last point is customers. Customer or consumer or client, whatever is the name, is the king. If you remember, customer is the king. Just like in democracy, a citizen is the king. Representatives are representatives, and government employees are the government servants. The name itself says government employee is called government servant. And MLA, MP, ZPTC, MPTC, they are just people's representatives. Who are the real rulers in a democracy? Citizens are the real rulers. Similarly, for a business, customer is the king. If there is no customer, there is no buyer. If there is no buyer, there is no purpose. The very purpose of establishing a factory to produce goods, establishing an identity to produce services will go waste. If there is a laundry, the business of a laundry is to wash the clothes, iron them, and give them back. If there are no customers, what is the purpose of his laundry business? There is a saloon, there is a beauty parlor. There is a saloon, there is a beauty parlor. If there are no customers, what is the use? So customer is the king. He is always right. You are for him, he is not for you. There may be several options for him, but your option is customer. If the customers talk against you, just as the employees talk against an organization, customers started talking against a particular shop or a particular service agency, see, the existence becomes a question. So customer is the king. Everything revolves around the king. So is with customers. To measure how well a company grows, just measure how much the company's customers are satisfied. So customer satisfaction is important. Therefore, I used to tell what is marketing. Marketing does not mean a place. Marketing does not mean an environment where a demand is created. But marketing is such a comprehensive term. It starts with the idea of an entrepreneur to create something. It starts there, and it ends with the customer satisfaction. In between, the entire chain is called marketing. So it starts with the ideation of the entrepreneur to start something. From there, marketing starts. So from there, he will establish the market. From there, he will buy the land. He will resource money. He will source money. He will appoint a manager. He will engage workers. He will start producing. He will transport them. He will hoard them. He will appoint marketing chain dealers and distributors, and then he will make advertisement. He will do all kinds of publicity, and it will go to the people, and people use them, people experience them, people consume them, people avail them, and they will start telling the feedback, their satisfaction or otherwise. So from ideation to customer satisfaction, the entire chain is called marketing. So customer is important in the entire market system. So to achieve customer satisfaction, organization needs to find whether the service or the product has exceeded or failed to meet the expectations of the customers. I told you NAIDTEA, adoption process of communication. Simply it was AIDA, now expanded to AIDA. Similar to 4 P's of marketing, there are 14 P's of marketing. For every P, there is a P, there is a word. So, similarly, the NAIDA, need, awareness, interest, desire, trial, and evaluation and action. So these are all the stages through which a customer will go through before adopting either a product or a service or the idea or even the communication. If he is not satisfied, if the customer is not satisfied while going through all the phases, he will reject. If he rejects, your business loses. So this is the importance of customers. Therefore, people say, know your customer, just like KYC. Find out your customer's name and their lifestyle. Understand your customer. Find out your customer's needs and their preferences. Why would a customer need something? And will that answer the need the customers? If you wanted to trust a particular product, you will fail after some time. Whatever people want, you will have to deliver. You will have to prepare. You will have to market. So there used to be shampoo bottles in not less than 100 ml, 150 ml, 200 ml, and 1 liters. So the entrepreneur, one small entrepreneur thought, why not? It can be a 1 rupee sachet. 1 rupee sachets began that way. There used to be coffee powder, 40 into 60 chicory and coffee blend of 50, 500 grams or 1 kg. So some entrepreneurs started, that is all called marketing ideas. One fellow started doing 1 rupee sachets of coffee powder, instant coffee powder. So these are all the innovative things in the market. It is based on the customer's need, not your necessity, not your business, not your profits. It is based on the customer's need, customer's satisfaction, what they want, how they like. It is your bloody duty to do research and make the things or extend the services. Listen and lead your customer. So listening is 50% of the communication. If talking is 50% of the communication broadly, of course, 95% of the communication happens for any living being. Only 5% is in a deep sleep where you don't get even dreams also. So 95% of the life of a human being, at least, if not any other living being, is spent in communication. So listen and lead your customer. Listening is 50% of the communication. If I am talking, I am communicating with you. If you are listening, you are communicating with me 50%. So 50-50, 100% communication is completed. So listening is very important. If you don't listen, you don't know what is happening in their minds. If you don't listen, you don't know what are their expectations, what is their perception. If you don't listen, you don't know what is their opinion about you. The feedback may be instant, feedback may come later. The feedback depends upon the procedure, how you communicate. Supposing I'm a bad lecturer, I'm a bad counselor, the feedback will go to the university, and next time I will not be given a chance. Because I am a good teacher, I'm continuing to teach for the past 35 years. So this is the communication. This is the process. Communicating and listening, 50-50%. It depends upon the satisfaction of the listener. Therefore, listen and lead your customer. Help and serve your customer. These are all the things will have to be kept in mind. Another 2 minutes. We have successfully completed all the 12 lessons in the 5 blocks of paper 16. in semester 4 of MA Journalism 2-year course. Now, any questions, anything related to your entire course, you can ask me. If not, specifically public relations, quickly.
No, sir. Say thank you, sir. Your online 4 classes. Sir, I missed the 3 offline classes, sir. I'm listening in only లైవ్ లో మిమ్మల్ని ఒకసారి ఇది క్లాస్ చూసిన సార్. మిగతా ఈ 3 అయితే మిస్ చేస్తున్నా సార్, అంటే చిన్న ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ వల్ల. కానీ ఆన్లైన్ లో మాత్రం క్లాస్ వదలలేదు సార్.
నో ప్రాబ్లం. అక్కడ ఆఫ్లైన్ క్లాస్ లో ఉన్న అడ్వాంటేజెస్ వేరే ఉంటాయి. ఇక్కడ ఆన్లైన్ క్లాస్ లో మనం యూ కెనాట్ వేస్ట్ టైం. అక్కడ కొంచెం మోర్ ఫ్రీడమ్ ఉంటుంది, దో విత్ ఇన్ 4 walls. ఇక్కడ ఉన్నవి అక్కడ ఉన్నవి ఇక్కడ, కొన్ని అడ్వాంటేజెస్ డిసడ్వాంటేజెస్ ఉంటాయి. చెప్పండి, ఎనీ అదర్. ఇప్పుడు డౌట్ రాలేదంటే దేర్ ఆర్ 2 things అండి. Amjad kada మీ పేరు? Amjad, there are 2 issues. If there are no doubts, either all of you might have got convinced or confused. మీరు కన్విన్స్ అయినారా, కన్ఫ్యూజ్ అయినారా నాకు తెలియదు. చెప్పండి, కన్విన్స్ అయ్యారా? కన్ఫ్యూజ్, డౌట్ రాకపోతే రెండే విషయాలు, ఒకటి కన్విన్సింగ్, ఇంకోటి కన్ఫ్యూజింగ్.
Sir, we well understood, sir. Sir, we well understood and convinced your lectures. Yeah, we have the subject is good.
Excellent explanation, sir. Thank you, sir. Excellent explanation. Very well explained, sir.
Thank you so much.
Deep conversation.
My bad habit is I don't confine to the textbook, though I have written so many lessons for Usmania University, Open University. While talking to students, I don't confine myself to the subject or the script. I'll go out and out, sometimes go beyond the subjects, and only when I feel that it is useful for you, for your understanding the subject only, I will go out and tell you certain other things. Don't mistake me.
No, sir, we are getting this knowledge of the subject, sir. We are very lucky to have you in 4th semester, but we are unlucky you don't have classes of first year.
No problem at all. Already recorded lessons are there. If you go to the Open University channel, you can have a look into my previous lectures, and my blog is there, proactive.blogspot, and the other channel is also there. For every aspect, I have done a lesson of half an hour, and they are there very much available by the Usmania University EMRC. I will share the link. You can go through the entire. You think of something. Supposing press conference, there is a lesson on it. Supposing press note, there is a lesson on it. There is corporate social responsibility, there is a lesson on it. There is propaganda is an aspect, there is a lesson on it. So for every aspect of public relations practice, there is a lesson made by me. I will make it available for you. I will give you the link. If you want to read only text, my blog is enough. In the blog, everything is there. You can see it. You can read the blog.
Yes, sir,
Please share it, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Amjad, you can give it.
Lucky to have you.
Amjad, you can give it. That pro-active.blogspot.com is my blog name, where you can find everything, including the syllabus also, and some RTI questions and answers. That apart, you will find hundreds of definitions for communication and public relations, and everything related to our profession, public relations profession and journalism profession. Okay?
Sir,
anything?
once again, repeat that blog.
Yedamma, PRO dash active.
Can you display, please? Sir, can you display on the screen, please?
CTIV active.
You just type in the URL space proactive.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Proactive.blogspot.com. pro-active-blogspot.com. You will get it. Okay.
Sir, please display, sir. Display that time. That's good.
Amjad, you can. I cannot display right now. If you want, I can type it here in the messages.
Okay, that is it.
One second. P or O, all small. Hyphen, where is this hyphen? Hyphen, active. Has it come? Has it come?
Yes,
Just a
sir.
moment. Just a moment, sir.
Ah, ah.
Proactive.
It is there.
Sir, is
It
this
is
available on YouTube?
in EMRC YouTube. It is there. They are creating a channel, separate channel instead of individual YouTubes. They are converting every piece of YouTube into a channel. I'll give you in the due course of time. That
Okay,
EMRC. And for my previous lessons of Open University, there is another channel. I don't remember the channel URL. If you search for the channel, it is there. My previous lessons are also there.
Sir, if you
And
could
if you want to
kindly, if you could
and
kindly update.
I'll share it with Amjad or Hamad. They'll
Yes, sir.
share you. They'll share with you. And this proactive blogspot, for only text you can read it. And for some of the YouTubes, I have given the link YouTube lesson at the end of the lesson. At the end of each lesson, if you click that, it will lead you to the YouTube. For only it is available only for some lessons which they have already converted into a YouTube. Otherwise, I'll give you the URL of the entire channel of EMRC of Osmania University. There you will find almost 32 lessons so far. Another 8 lessons I am in the process of making the script and presentation into an episode. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, we have gone beyond 1 o'clock, 5 minutes. The other, is it lunchtime or what? Another teacher is there.
Sir, we
Do
have
you have
class from 1:30.
1:20. At 1:20, you have another class.
No, sir. 1:30
Is it?
you have to go
1:30.
for another class.
Up to 1:30. It means I am eating into your eating time. Okay? Okay, bye. Good day.
Thank you
All
so
the
much, sir.
best. All the best.
Thank
All
you.
the best. All the best. Thank you.